So these are the ingredients that we are using for our egg foo young. For my egg foo young, I'm using a little combination of a little crab, only because I have some left from our rice and our crab ragoon, unless I would use other ingredients. But far as other protein, we have also got our shrimp. And then we also have our chicken as well. We've got some mushrooms here. We've got our bean sprouts. We've got some onion that we are also gonna saute up with that egg foo young, some green onion. And then for our sauce, we've got our cornstarch. We've got some beef stock. We've got our soy sauce. And then we've also got some oyster sauce. And then we've got our coconut oil that we're gonna fry them up in. And then we'll add some little cooking along the way, Starla House seasoning. Remember, if you're at home, just a little salt, pepper, and garlic salt will get you along the way. And then our major ingredients for our egg foo young is, of course, going to be our eggs. And I may have mentioned it before, but another major player in our flavors is going to be our bean sprouts right here. So we are going to go ahead and get that started. For our gravy, for our egg foo young, we are going to start with a little beef broth or beef stock, whatever you can find. Broth is going to be a little bit more savory, but whatever you can find will definitely work. We've also got our oyster sauce right here. This is gonna also go into our sauce. Scoop that right into there. We've got our soy sauce, which goes quite well right into our sauce. We're bringing all of this to a boil. And then a little sesame oil. This adds a lot of flavor. Make sure you don't overdo it though, because it can completely change the components of the flavor of your sauce. All right, we are going to bring this to a boil and get our sauce going. And while we are waiting on this to come to a boil, we are going to create a cornstarch slurry, which is very necessary for a very smooth sauce instead of a lumpy one. So just hold on just a moment. You bring your beef stock, your soy sauce, and your sesame oil to a boil, and then we're gonna create our cornstarch slurry to thicken up this sauce just a little bit. All right, this is gonna be our cornstarch and our water. This is basically gonna be the sauce to thicken our sauce that we already have going. As much as a contradiction as that might sound, we are gonna add this to the sauce that we already had going previously, and it's gonna thicken the sauce to a gravy-like consistency. But you must make sure that you make this slurry, because if you just add the cornstarch to your sauce, you'll end up with lots of lumps. So follow this direction and this ingredient and you'll come out with a perfect sauce. This is our slurry that we just created, and we are just gonna stir that into our stock as well as our soy sauce to create the gravy that we need for our egg foo young. And it's not gonna come off right off the bat, so just stir that and give it a moment to set, and we'll check back in with this in about 5 to 10 minutes. This is our egg foo young blend. We're gonna season it just a little bit, and then we are gonna go ahead and add our protein. I'm adding a little crab meat just because I have it left over. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of our chicken. And I'm gonna add some of our veggies, which include our onion, our bean sprouts, as well as our mushrooms. And all of the rest of the ingredients we will add just a minute or two later, just so we can adjust the timing for cooking accordingly. I've added my oil to the pan already. So now I am gonna add about a half of cup of egg fouillon filling for each of my egg fouillon. I'm gonna start them on opposite sides of the pan so they have a little bit of space to expand. Once your egg mixture has solidified just a little bit, that's when you want to go ahead and turn it. If you do it before, it's gonna just spill everywhere. But if you do it right on time, you'll turn it over right like that, and you'll get it going accordingly. You see how both of those flipped over? We're gonna cook those for another 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and cook the rest accordingly for the same amount of time. This is our final product for our egg fouillon today. I hope you enjoyed cooking stuff with Starla McGee, and I hope you try this recipe at home. If you have not already, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode of Cooking Stuff with Starla McGee.